G'day there guys, fun fact, I didn't know how to tie my shoelaces until I was 10. It's Markee here and welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. Now if you love today's content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, smash that like button, tell me what you think of it down in the comments, and enjoy today's episode. Posted by user Veins and Daisy Chains, titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my dad's kids? Backstory. I, 19 female, don't have a brilliant relationship with my father, and I haven't for years. My dad has 6 kids under 10, and both he and their mother work full-time. I do not consider them my siblings, I have not met the youngest 3, and I haven't seen my dad in nearly 4 years. I currently take turns with my 2 older sisters, both stay-at-home mums, babysitting my mum's kids, who I do consider my siblings. My sisters get paid, but I don't since I'm currently living at home rent-free. This is the deal we made. Living rent-free is my payment. Mum has 10 kids under 13 and cannot afford childcare. Mum has 10 kids under 13? What? Last week, my dad rang me and asked if I would babysit. I asked him how much he would be paying me, knowing it wouldn't be a lot. I should also mention that the kids I have met are the worst behaved children I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. He said he'd pay €30 a day. I essentially told him to F off, and he said he needed me to babysit for him, and how I really should after all he's done for me, and how he couldn't afford childcare. I won't lie, I laughed at all he's done for me because I've not received so much as a birthday card off this man since I was 6. He's also earning a 6-figure salary, so funding childcare is no problem. He got kind of angry and said it's the least I could do for him, so I hung up before I started saying things I'd regret. I feel like point-blank refusing is kinda rude of me. Am I the a-hole for not even considering it? Edit, if we could please stop crapping on my mother, my stepdad, and my siblings, please, that would be absolutely brilliant. Edit 2, the reason my mum and stepdad can't afford childcare right now is because the school hasn't started yet, and there are 7 school-age kids. When school starts again, they will be able to financially send the youngest 3 to a creche. However, I'm still going to mind them during the day, as both my parents are healthcare workers, and sending the kids to school is enough of a risk even with social distancing and mandatory masks. Creches don't require social distancing or masks, and colleges are online until February, so I will continue to mind my siblings out of nothing but kindness. My parents' financial situation is none of your concern. Edit 3. Guys, what the actual F am I supposed to do? Leave 10 kids to mind themselves? Give some of them away? Abort? F off saying there's too many kids, I know. There is absolutely nothing that can be done about it now. So let me get this straight, both your mother and your father are parentifying you because they don't want to look after their own kids or something like that? At least on the father's side, he has a 6-figure job, yet he's still pressuring you to come give him €30 a day childcare. That's just next level skimpiness. There is literally no excuse for that. And I'm guessing that your mum and her partner are the one that shared 10 kids under 13? Just having that many kids, you're going to get a lot of blowback from people because it's not a good thing these days in a lot of people's minds because of overpopulation and whatnot. It's unfortunate that your mother and her partner have 10 kids split between them, but it's not your duty to look after 10 kids. They need to be able to do something to look after these kids. And the fat check they're going to be getting from the government should be enough to cover this. I can't imagine what the money from the government would be like for 10 kids under 13 in a first world country. I'm guessing Spain for this one, because of the use of creche. Regardless, you're not the a-hole for refusing to babysit your dad's kids. It's good that you are babysitting your mum's kids, but it shouldn't be expected of you. You're 19, you have your own life to lead at this point. But everyone's moral compass is different. I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Are your parents rabbits by any chance? That's a ton of kids. Nah, just the hippy-dippy, don't believe in condoms type. My mum and stepdad are great though. Apparently not the kind of hippies who used to believe in zero population growth because of the environment. No, Bible-loving, Catholic church-loving, help everyone because everyone deserves love kind of hippies. They're great, really. My mum is probably the most open-minded person that I've met. Info. Can you make an Amazon wishlist for them so that I can send them some contraception? The mum is a baby-making machine. A kid every 1.3 years for 13 years? But don't worry, Dad's trying to play catch-up. OP says they have 23 kids between the two of them. Even if they were not trying to force babysitting, I would think they are a-holes. And OP says, my mum got her tubes tied when the youngest was born. Not because she wanted to, but having another baby would probably cause severe damage. If she could, she would have more. People like this need therapy. Not the a-hole. Parents need to stop producing kids that they don't have the time to care for. You're not obligated to look after your step-siblings. You can turn down the offer if you don't see the appeal in it. And if your dad was an a-hole, you don't have to do anything for him, money or not. My mum and stepdad are amazing parents. They can afford childcare when the majority are in school, but at the moment they can't afford to pay for all of them who need it, and they don't feel safe doing so, especially since both are healthcare workers. I'm happy to babysit for them, as my siblings are incredibly well behaved, and the older ones, 17, 13, and 11, are really helpful and do a lot. My dad just seems to think that I owe him. Probably for that one time he did actually pay child support or something. God damn, these people, man. Update. Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my dad's kids? Since making the original post, my dad tried asking me 3 more times over the past 2 weeks, upping his payment offer each time. His final offer was €100 per day, but I still refused as he basically wanted me from 9 to 5 every day, and like I said in the previous post, I've never met 3 of them, so I told him I'm not going to babysit his kids that I don't know. This angered him, and again he used the, after all I've done for you, and the, but I'm family card. I informed him, while he may be my father, he's not family to me. He tried some more entitled BS, and I said, when's my birthday? Which is a question he couldn't answer. I told him to never contact me again unless he's on his deathbed. Oh, goddamn. And on a more positive note, 7 of my siblings have returned to school, and the youngest 3 have started going back to creche. So my days are long and boring without them, haha. I almost prefer the mess and noise. Not a very eventful update, but there you go. I'm so sorry people are giving you such a hard time over the number of kids. My mum was one of 13, and while she wouldn't recommend it to anyone, she also loves all her siblings and would be pretty livid if anyone said anything against any of them. The kids are born. There's no point talking about whether that was wise family planning. I'm glad you stood your ground, and I'm so glad your siblings are back to school and you can give more focus to your classes. I hope your father leaves you in peace now. It's honestly a little late to do anything about the number of kids in my house. It's not like we can just throw them in the bin. Oh, it's so grim when you put it like that. Not the a-hole. Holy crap, who expects 6 kids to be watched for $100 a day? That's hilarious, and that's even if he did pay you, which is doubtful. That is so many children. Why do people have more than they can take care of? They aren't your kids. Unless you're older than 18, you really aren't responsible for your mum's 10 either. I mean to help out, yes, but not as a full-time job. Unless of course you're over 18 and living rent-free, I could definitely see how you'd feel responsible. I'm 19 and nearly 20, and lost my job due to the pandemic. So I've been earning a considerably lower income for a few months, so not rent paying for me. Posted by user The Cynical Human. Titled, Am I the a-hole for yelling at my mother when she said that I had to make up for all the chores I missed out on when I had cancer? I literally cannot believe I'm writing this, but here goes. I, 17 female, was diagnosed with stage 4 all as a kid. Wasn't supposed to live. Parents decided to put me through chemotherapy to extend my life for a few months. I ended up surviving, and it's been about a decade since my initial diagnosis. I'm cancer-free now. My parents own two houses. For one, they hire people to clean it, and for the other, we take care of it. My parents are pretty well off, but they believe in hardworking values and want my brother and I to know how to take care for ourselves and our future houses, which I think is great. The last time we were at the second house, the one we care for, we had an all-day cleaning of the whole house and yard. I wanted to call my friends later in the day, so I decided to get up early and do my end of the chores first so that I would have time to talk with my friends. There was a list of chores on the table. I spent a few hours doing half of the chores on the list. To reiterate, I did half of the chores myself, leaving the other half to be split between my mother, my father, and my brother. I didn't choose the easiest ones or anything. I just went in order from top to the bottom on the list, and I stopped when I got halfway down. Weeding, raking, pressure washing the driveway, laundry, clean bathrooms, dishes, vacuum basement and main floor, clean the boat, put the covers on the jet skis, and a few others I don't remember at the moment. Anyway, when I was done, I called my friends. Mother walked in and saw me on the phone and got mad, and I told her I already did my share. Actually, more than my share of chores. She then said something along the lines of, "It's still not enough because you have to make up for all the chores you missed when you were sick." I'm literally so angry typing this. Sick is what she refers to as the whole cancer ordeal. I can't believe she'd use that against me like it was my fault. I told her that she had a lot of nerve, considering that I was literally fudging dying at the time, and that she hadn't done a single chore on the list. She was really upset and went into her room and slammed the door. She did end up doing a few of the chores, but me and my brother and my father picked up the rest. She was passive-aggressive for the rest of the day. This happened a few weeks ago, but she still brings it up whenever I'm doing something that's not chores, saying I'm lazy and that I need to make up for the lost time during my cancer period. I haven't said anything to her about it since, and I ignore it now. Am I the a-hole here? I did go off on her, and in the heat of the moment, I was pretty loud. I probably should have handled it in a more calm manner than I did, but I also think it was way out of line for her to use my cancer against me. Edit, many have asked if I can talk to my father about this. I can't because he wasn't there to hear it, and it's my mother's word against mine, and there's no proof, so he would take neutral ground, which I don't blame him for. I wouldn't believe this if it hadn't happened to me. Edit 2, I've still got at least another year here. When summer is over, I start senior year of high school, then another summer at home, and then college. Also, I'm considering staying at home longer so my brother doesn't have to deal with this crap. He's younger than me, and he's more timid and cries when people yell at him. I don't blame him though. If I stay, I can sort of shield him from that. But he's the only thing keeping me on the fence. I really want to move out. I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but for now, thanks for the advice. Edit 5. Many of you said all isn't diagnosed in stages. It actually is, just not numbered stages. We use numbers to talk about it, and because it's how my doctors explained it to 8-year-old me, that I didn't have long to live. Also, many people don't understand B cell versus T cell stuff, but they get stages 1 to 4, and since then, this term stuck. Sorry about the confusion. It's unfortunate that this post has to be made, and it's very clear that it's a not the a-hole post. There was that post the other day where I said everyone sucks here because of the immediate aggression from OP when they said they didn't want to have kids after the aunt had asked them a relatively not loaded question about having kids. In that situation, it wasn't the auntie talking about OP having cancer, and the fact that this is such a petty reason to be having a go at OP. Missed time on chores while you're guaranteed to die from cancer from a doctor's diagnosis. How thick can you be as a human being to hold that against OP? Oh, you know what? All this cancer treatment you had to save your life, and you missed out on all these chores, you get a green pass for nothing in the future. This is all your fault. Get back here. How does someone hear this coming out of their mouth and think that it's a logical or reasonable thing to say? There's no justification for an everyone sucks here or you're the a-hole at all. I can't see a universe. Not the a-hole, OP. You had cancer. How in the entire hell were you supposed to do chores? You didn't choose to have cancer. She has no right to use it against you. Not the a-hole, and just for argument's sake, you probably missed a lot of hanging out with friends time while you were sick, so you need to make up for that now. You also probably missed a lot of playtime, so you have to make up for that now too. Maybe you have a hobby or a sport you couldn't do back then? You need to make up for lost time now. Sorry, Mum, no time for chores with all that. I did miss a lot. I never learned how to ride a bike, and many of my friends make references to shows like Sweet Life on Deck or Jessie that I never saw. Sweet Life on Deck was great. I missed part of the second, most of third, fourth, and a little bit of the fifth grade. Spent most of my time at home or in the hospital, and life is pretty good now though. Except for stuff like this, Lamau. And as soon as we're allowed back into the world, I hope to do as much as I can with the time I have. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you take time to learn to ride a bicycle. Everyone should have the option to ride a bike, swim, and such. Maybe your brother or father can teach you? I'm not that bummed about the bike. My balance is pretty bad anyway. I'm more upset that I never got to do the same things other kids did. And as a result, I don't understand a lot of remember when references or those relatable childhood memes and stuff. I know it's not that big of a deal, but I always have to fake a laugh, like, yeah, haha, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm a good swimmer though, so at least I have that. Overall, it sucks that I kind of didn't have a childhood, but there's not much that I can do to change it. I just wish my mother wouldn't use this against me in arguments, Lamau. Update: Am I the a-hole for yelling at my mother? I ended up getting into a big fight with my mother over the summer, and she kept deflecting and refused to take any blame for anything. The fight wasn't just about the last post, it also included controlling behaviors, like the hairdryer post, and other things that I felt she needed to acknowledge. The issue is that she's never apologized to me before, ever, and she's still refused to. I even admitted that I was wrong on some things and tried to compromise, but she didn't relent. So I told her that if she wasn't going to put an effort into fixing our relationship, I'd need a therapist again to talk about our issues. I phrased it as a, I need help because something is wrong with me sort of thing, so she would be more likely to agree, and she did. I've been doing Zoom therapy sessions because I live in the USA and we are still on lockdown. Joy. And my therapist is great. She listens and offers advice. The only issue is that the things she says I need to do to fix things with my mother haven't been working. Again, because my mother cannot apologize for anything. So I'm kind of upset about that. But it's nice to have someone to talk to. I think I've realized that things are just going to keep continuing like they are, with my mother doing messed up stuff and refusing to apologize, and I can't really do anything about it. One other small thing. My parents started holding money over my head recently in a, if you don't do what we want, we aren't paying for your college, and we're kicking you out of the house as soon as you're 18 sort of way. So that's kind of screwed up. I'm stuck between financial security and mental health security until I'm in and out of college. So like 5 years roughly. And I gotta choose financial security unfortunately, meaning they're gonna be in control of my life for a while, because I don't know what I can do at this point. Thank you to everyone who commented and offered advice. It means a lot that people read my post. Edit. Some info for you guys. I took the SAT and did extremely well, and I received a $20,000 a year scholarship for an out-of-state school. But that doesn't even cover half of the tuition for that school. I'm trying to find cheaper options right now, but it's hard. Chipping in with some practical advice here, and sympathy for your situation. 5 years sounds like a long time to you at your age, but start preparing early. Learn to cook from scratch, minor car maintenance, household practicalities such as doing the laundry, etc., budgeting, etc. Get some of these life skills nailed before you actually need them, and you'll be able to hit the ground running. I'm so sorry for you. Thanks. I've actually started learning a bunch of stuff. Changing a tire, cooking, cleaning, laundry, job, to prepare. I'm glad I know the basics. Okay, and I think that's where we're going to end today's episode, guys. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned something from these stories. Just want to say a quick shout out to my Patreon subscribers and my channel members. You guys should be on the screen right now. If you do see yourself, I want you to give yourself a little pat on the back for being amazing and supporting me on this channel, this little journey we're going on the YouTubes. I really appreciate it, and you guys enabled me to do all this amazing work. So if you do see yourself, I love your face and I'm happy to see you. Also guys, if you want to pitch in your own support, you don't have to, but channel links are down in the description below to support the Patreon, the channel membership, whatever you want to do. It's kind of like tipping me if you feel like I'm doing a good job on this channel. I will be opening up avenues for content on those in the future. Just right now I'm kind of bogged down and stuck in Ireland, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, with that said, I do hope you have a wonderful day today. Whatever you're up to, I'd love to know down in the comments below. I do hope you have a good day, night, sleep. Whatever you're up to today, tell me, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Bye.